Good day, mates. Boy, you know, when you think about Australia, you think about koalas, kangaroos, opera houses, bridges, beaches. You think about all that stuff. You think about spiders, snakes, crocodiles. Oh, you think about a lot of things, but what you don't really think about are things like where I'm taking you today, and that would be the I don't even know how to pronounce the word. It's Ngigli, something like that. Ngigli Cave. And I was over at the lighthouse, and there was a wonderful bloke named Leon, and Leon was telling me that I really got to go see this cave. It's just right on the way to Margaret River. So I thought, why not? Why not just stop in and see the cave? I got a little bit of time, and I'm going to bring you along. And I don't know, the last time I think I was in a cave such as what I'm going to share with you today, I'd have to say that it was in, well, it was probably in Hungary, if I'm not mistaken, the last time that I was in a cave. But this is going to be, boy, this is going to be interesting. You just don't think, you just don't think about caves when you think about Australia. Look at this wood carving here. I think that's a, maybe that's an anteater. Okay, so we're gonna go in. I hope it's not scary. We will see, as the saying goes. But this should be nice. I was told that the tour is only about 10 minutes, and then they let you kind of walk through. So here is the good day, mate. Here's the visitor center. Look at this. Wow. Look at this. So this is what I'm about to see. Look at that. Boy, this should be really, really interesting. Am I still able to get into the cave?
Yeah, we'll be taking people in at 4 o'clock.
Okay. And how in the world do you pronounce the name?
Ngigli.
Ngigli?
First G silent. So Ngigli.
Ngigli. So the first G is G is silent. That makes it easy. Ngigli. So we're going to go and do a walk and talk through the Ngigli cave here, and I'll bring you along. Let me get a ticket. Well, this is the way up to the waiting area, and look at this. You see these signs everywhere. Snakes live here. Oh goodness, I don't know, between the flies in WA and the snakes, I don't know if this is my kind of place, but I do love it. That's that's one of the snakes that you'd see around here, the tiger snake. And then this is the other one. It's called what is it, a dugite snake. I don't know how big they are, but it just says snakes see us as a threat. So if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. But I just try to stay on the path. That's probably the best bet, is just to stay on the yellow brick road, and hopefully you won't have a problem. But this should be an interesting experience. I'm assuming that they give you about a 10-minute introduction, a little bit of a story about the cave, and then they will leave you to your own. And I should have brought a bag of bread with me to kind of leave a bread trail, you know, as I'm going down into the cave. But hopefully they've got it all well marked, I would hope.
Yeah.
So this would be the waiting area.
Yeah.
Beautiful covered pavilion. Boy, these Australians, they really have some wonderful national parks. Here you've got the rules: no running, no tripods, no smoking, no eating, no touching in the cave. And then what they have here along the wall, the story of Story of Ngigli. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can read that as on your own, but look at this. Show you some of these pictures here along the wall. Food was plenty, and the Aboriginal people used to collect their water from the entrance to the big cave. An evil spirit began lurking in the cave because the water hole to dry up, food to be scarce, and drew unwary people into the great hole of darkness, never to be seen again. Ngigli and the spirits of the waves, the wind, the rain, thunder, and lightning created a terrifying storm. Thunder rolled, lightning flashed across the sky, fierce wind and rain raced over the sea. Huge king waves formed. A fierce battle followed, with Ngigli driving Wogonin further and further into the cave. I would wonder if these aren't actual, maybe drawings. Here's Edward Dawson and Company, the first tour guides. A lot of information. Ngigli Show Cave Tour stands the test of time. Accessing the secluded entrance to the Ngigli Cave was originally involved descending a simple rope ladder. Wow. Here comes our guide.
Hello, welcome. My name's Chad, I'll be your guide. I'll take you into the cave and let you go explore on your own after that, so it should be a bit of fun. Once you're down there, how you going, folks? Yes. If you've been having a bit of a read, we have an amazing Dreamtime story of Ngigli Cave here on the walls. If you want to know anything more about the indigenous people of this region, the Wadandi, we have a local elder, Josh Whiteland, does his tours from Ngigli and Cape Naturalist. Kumail Dreaming Tours, lovely stuff and really, really cool stuff as well. So if you're all interested, check him out in the future. For us today though, there are just a few guidelines we're going to get you to follow while you're going through the cave. First one to remember is please look, but don't touch our formations. Everything down there is really, really old and they're really easy to break. We even have oils in our skin that can stain and stop the crystals growing. So please be very careful. Alright, now if you are taking photos, you can use flash. No worries about flash at all, that's all fine. We'll just get you though to not bring anything extendable into the cave. So is that going to get any bigger? Or is that just,
no?
Yeah, so that's fine. All right, cool. If you've got any food or drink with you, I don't think I see anything. No, so we're all good. Okay, great. So we'll start heading towards the cave. I'll get you to follow me. If you've got any rubbish, just chuck them out in the bins before we go.
Well, here we go into the Ngigli Cave.
Nice to meet you. We'll have a bit of a stop here next to the original sign for the cave. So the cave used to be called Yallingup Cave, but then they changed it to Ngigli in the year 2000. To all the Dundee people. This sign is also over, very important. Enjoy the reception while you can, there won't be any down there. Right beneath your feet is a section of the cave called Cupid's Corner. Now that will be the deepest part of the cave you'll be going to today. You'll be 37 meters below the surface. So if you are interested, that's about 12 stories, or if you're counting all the stairs, about 350 stairs to get down there to the bottom. So 350, that's right. So with Ngigli Cave being such a big, beautiful cave, it does mean that there is a different level of carbon dioxide underground. So what you have is a lot of decaying organic matter, so lots of dead leaves and everything on in the soil. That's CO2 it releases as it decays, filters down through the rocks and into the cave. The CO2 is heavier than air. So there's a little bit more down there than there is out here, and it does sound a bit scary, but all that means is when you're going up and down the stairs, especially coming back up, there might be a bit of puffiness, like more breathy sort of air. So it's not your fitness, it's just the cave, all right? So if you are feeling short of breath, have a rest. There are seats down there to sit on, catch your breath, and then continue on. There's no time limit. Take as long as you like, just nice and easy up and down the stairs. Okay? All right, good. Okay, follow me.
This is going to be interesting.
Welcome to the entrance. So you can see just a small little hole in the earth. Thanks, Jess. Welcome, folks. Just made it. First discovered by the Europeans back in 1899. Edward Dawson was looking for some lost horses when he found a great big hole in the ground. Decided to climb on down and have a look around, and he loved what he saw. But we do acknowledge the indigenous people of the Wadundy as being the first people to have discovered and used caves in some of our caves. We have found evidence of ancient campfires, children's teeth left behind, as well as fossils with tool marks in them. The Wadundy people have been in this region anywhere between 50 to 60,000 years ago, and that gets pushed back every time they find some new evidence. So who knows how long exactly they've been here, but a very, very, very long time. Now, the original tours in Ngigli, we've been up and running since the year 1900. They would have had to climb down a rope ladder into the cave. And in the year 1900, you've got to make sure you're wearing the right attire. So caving gear, 3-piece suit for the gentlemen. The ladies, big hoop dresses, corsets, all the good stuff. They would climb down the rope ladder, squeeze through the cave. A round trip back then could take anywhere between 8 to 10 hours. So this cave was marketed to honeymooners. One hell of a honeymoon. You come down on the train from Perth to Bustleton, down to Cave's house and up to the cave here. There are actually some stories of the ladies' dresses catching fire down there. Can you imagine squeezing through very tight closed spaces and you're only using candles to light your way? A lot of flowy fabric with all the dresses. So you don't have to use candles anymore. You don't really even need your own lights. We have got lights down there for you. Ngigli Cave is actually one of the first caves to get electricity back in 1904. So you might even see some evidence of the old light system down there too. Now when we get down to the cave, it's a bit easier. We've got some stairs and nice walkways. Should take you about an hour to go through the cave these days, but take it easy. You can take as long as you like. Although we do come and look for you at 5 o'clock, so that's when we close, all right? Now that cave entrance has a bit of a heavy gate, so please hold it open for the person behind you and just don't let it close and swing back on anybody, okay? All right, let's head on down. Oh, and speaking of heads here, folks, there may be a few low spots in the cave, so always make sure you mind your heads. Trust me, I've found all the low spots in this one, and we've got a few, okay? Follow me.
All right, so here we go. This is gonna be interesting. Wow. Hopefully the camera will be able to pick up the light as we go down there. Actually, the last cave I was in Poland. It was a salt mine. Actually, not a cave, but it was really something. All right. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. I sure hope so.
Come on, it's lovely. So is this going?
That's just a loop around the amphitheatre. You might hear the concert going on down there with the kids. Great acoustics, great big beautiful chamber, and lots of formations all over the roof and walls. Means it doesn't echo back at you, and you can sound absolutely amazing if you sing or make some noise down there. So if any singers are here in the group, it's your time to shine down the bottom of that chamber there. Right. There's also some mats on the floor down there if you want to have a lay down, look up at the roof. Sometimes if you close your eyes for a few moments or a few minutes if you like, open them up, it can feel like the formations are shooting stars above your heads, or maybe you're flying over the forest. So some nice stuff to see down there. But we're going to ask you to do that at the end. So to start off with, just so we can get you flowing through the cave a bit easier, we're going to send you down to the main chamber first. So heading down this way, you've got the grand staircase all the way down to the bottom where there's Cupid's corner. At that spot there, be a sign pointing to Cupid's corner and pointing up towards the main chamber. So when you get up to the main chamber, there's a great big open.
I don't know if the camera's going to be able to capture this, but I sure hope so.
Down at the bottom, there's a loop through the main chamber.
Wow.
Just follow the signs, follow the walkways, you'll be okay. Down there in the main chamber, there's also Obelia. She is at her office, and she'll be there to answer any questions or help you out if you need any help with checking her. Now, for those of you feeling a bit more adventurous, we do have the tunnel of doom. They crawl through there. You can squeeze
I sure hope I can capture this with the camera. Wow. Okay, so we're on our own now, and I'm gonna try to share this with you. I'm gonna look for spots that are well lit, such as this, and see if I can't give you a good idea as to what it's like inside here. Really, really something. All right, so I'm gonna have to watch my step. I'm wearing sandals, or as they would call them down here, I'm wearing thongs. Look at this. Wow. Isn't that something? You just would never even think this was under the ground. Look at this. Wow. Isn't that something? Really something else. Have to be careful not to drop my camera. So I'll give you an idea as to what it's like going down, perhaps. But no shortage of steps. I wish that I had worn my sneakers. This will give you an idea of what it's like going down into the cave. Look at the steps. They're all marked. But you gotta watch your head, because some of the rocks just stick out into the walkway. Boy, here's a beautiful section of the cave right here. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that off in the back. Really, really something. Wow. Look at that. Real thin. Wow. It almost looks like wax. Looks like melting wax. Look at that. Really, really something else. Here's a view looking up as I'm going down the steps. Look at that. I'm coming down into what is now Cupid's Corner. We'll find out why they call it Cupid's Corner, perhaps. Look at this. There's Cupid's Corner. Lit only by candlelight and kerosene lantern, men in three-piece suits and women in full dress would spend anywhere from 6 to 10 hours exploring. Imagine in the early 1920s, newly married, you have spent 2 days on a steam train heading from Perth to Busselton, and then a full day by coach and horse from Busselton to Yallingup. You arrive at Caves House Hotel for your honeymoon, and as part of the package, you receive a fully guided tour of the magnificent Ngigli Cave. Back in the 1920s, whereas in modern days, we tend to dress down for a caving adventure. In the early 1900s, it was fairly a formal affair that only by candlelight and a kerosene lantern, men in three-piece suits and women in full dress would spend anywhere from 6 to 10 hours exploring this cave. Wow. Cupid's Corner is the place where the young honeymooners would apparently seek seclusion from prying eyes. It was during this time that a number of the cave's formations were given a newlywed theme, such as the wedding cake and the wedding altar. So they would find a little seclusion back here in this corner. I wonder for what. I found my way into what I believe is the main chamber here. Look at this. Isn't that something? Wow. So this path that we're on, or track as they might call it here in Australia, is it's a loop. It goes around in a bit of a circuit. Very nice. Wow. Look at just up ahead. Look at all of that, if you can see it. Really something else. Boy, here's a great view. Look at this. Oh boy, really a sight to behold. Look at that. Really something else. Definitely well worth the time to come and see this. It really is something to see. Here's one of the more interesting pieces right here. Look at that. It's colored, a real thin section right there. Wow. Look at that. All right, so I've reached a point where we're going to be turning around and going back in the loop. Look at this. Very, very nice. Wow. I'm just trying to keep my attention on both the steps and the steps and the rocks. Look at that. Wow, that is really something. Look at that. Isn't that something? Look at this little spot right here. Wow. I was just able to reach my camera inside. Isn't that something else? I'll show you the opening. Here it is. Boy, this perhaps is the view of them all. Look at that. Wow, that's something else. Really. Wow, what a view. What a view. Now, I don't know if this is the wedding cake, but it's kind of an interesting shape. Look at that. Wonderful. All right. Oh boy. That's a breath of fresh air coming up. And that's your walk and talk of Ngigli Cave here in Western Australia. Really nice, wonderful. And I'm not too out of breath. A little bit, but more because of the I guess the lack of oxygen. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tour. On my way out, I'll show you just a little bit of the bush here. You can see, look at what it looks like. There's a nice little trail that goes down this way, hiking trail. I'm not going to go too far. I don't want to come across a snake. Oh boy. To think I'm not the only snake in the forest. Have a great day.